All right, welcome to a special edition of Deep Dive with Dr. Fitz. I'm your host, Dr. Sean Fitzpatrick, and this is Season 3, Episode 7. We make history today with the 7th grade team because the first time in podcast history, we are seated at student desks. And there's a little secret we'll reveal later in the podcast about the height of some of our guests, one of our guests. So we'll get into that in a second. First, let's meet these wonderful 7th grade teachers. I feel like Johnny Carson sitting at his desk here. So I'm going to start to my right. And Mr. Shuck, let's have you introduce yourself and share what you teach and then what you enjoy most about working with 7th graders.
My name is Aaron Shuck. I teach 7th grade English Language Arts. This is my 20th year here at Schuylkill Haven. And I just love being around these kids. They're enjoyable. We get to joke around with the kids a lot. And it's just a fun experience.
Great. Glad to have you on the team.
I'm Jackie Hink. I teach 7th grade Social Studies, Ancient World History. My favorite thing about teaching 7th grade is the fact that they understand my sarcasm and we can have conversations where I don't feel like we have to maybe make it more elementary age or anything like that. We can have more conversations and dialogue.
You're so tall. You've elevated your game.
I told my kids I'm going to grow up one day. Here I am doing it.
Good. So, and maybe there's a couple books under her. We don't know, but she's very elevated right now on the podcast. You're doing great. Mr. Pearson, how about you?
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Brian Pearson. I'm the 7th grade life science teacher. Probably one of the things I appreciate the most is the unpredictability that we really get to enjoy here. It's never the same thing every day, and we don't have one of those desk jobs where it's kind of menial and it's just repetitive. We get to experience something new every day.
Great. And the newest guy on our team, introduce yourself, young man. Tell us what you're doing here at Schuylkill Haven Area Middle School.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Justin Petrovich. I am the 7th grade pre-algebra teacher, and this is actually year 1.5 for me at Schuylkill Haven. And the thing I enjoy most about teaching 7th graders is going to piggyback off of what Brian and Jackie said. It's something new every day. Their personalities are awesome from day 1 to 180. You have no idea what to expect. So it's a wild trip each and every day, and I believe we're all here for that.
Great. All right, let's get into some of the meat of 7th grade. We'll start with Mr. Shuck on this one. Tell us what makes 7th grade a unique and important year compared to the earlier grades.
Well, we view 7th grade as a pretty significant year for our students because this is the last year in the middle school for them.
Yeah.
So we look at our jobs as kind of like we're really trying to prepare these kids to get ready for high school. We keep our curriculums rigorous, our coursework is pretty rigorous, and we try to hold our kids to some pretty high standards.
Love it. I think, too, hearing what I've heard already in the pregame, you all work very well together in doing that. All right, Mr. Petrovich, let me come back to you on this one. Go two ends of the spectrum. How do you work together as a team, then, to support the students both academically and socially?
Well, speaking of team, I do have to say, I believe I have the best team in the district with our 7th grade teachers. We meet every day, prep and lunch. We talk about what's going on in our lives, in our classroom lives, everything. So constant communication. We are constantly talking about how we can make our lives better, how we can make the students' lives better. So constant communication.
Excellent. So we're going to break this down into two sides. So this will be the humanities side, and this is going to be the STEM side of our learning here during this podcast. So Mrs. Hink, you can maybe touch on this and bring our listeners and viewers up to speed. How do you combine your subjects into the humanities block, the two of you, really?
Well, co-teaching with Mr. Shecky in Humanities is pretty great because we're combining our two classes, plus I get, that co-teacher bringing in an ELA perspective with social studies topics. So how we kind of manage it is he has a couple of projects that he takes the lead on, and then I have a few projects that I take the lead on, and then we take turns teaching and assisting. But we blend a lot of projects. We're project-based, partner-based. Small group, we make them do presentations. But I think they really like the idea that they have 2 teachers coming in. It's not as structured as our ELA and social studies classes are, and we get to have a little bit more fun, which humanizes us a lot more in our humanities class.
Good. Great response. Humanized. Mr. Shuck, add to that. Give me an example of a project or a lesson where English and social studies kind of connected really well.
So right now, our kids, we have them working on a project that deals with the civil rights movement. It's something that I used to focus on in my ELA classes every January for Martin Luther King week.
Yep.
But when we restructured our schedules and our classes and developed this humanities course, we kind of felt like this fit better for this class. So what we're doing right now, we've looked at the speech, we've read through it, we watched a YouTube video with Martin Luther King delivering the speech at the March on Washington. We talk about freedom and what freedoms mean. We talk about what the civil rights movement was. And then we have the kids with a copy of the speech kind of think about the struggles and the issues that our country is facing today, as opposed to what Martin Luther King was seeing in the 1950s and 1960s. So the kids come up with 3 issues or 3 problems that they think our country has today, and then they come up with some possible solutions for those issues. And then we have them kind of work that into like a rewrite of the speech where they're trying to emulate Martin Luther King's style in his speech. And basically they'll present that to us. We're just finishing up with that today. So we're looking for some speeches out of our kids next week.
Outstanding. I might have to pop back in here next week.
Absolutely.
All right, good. Mrs. Hink, back to you. You're a student. You're a 7th grader, and we put yourself in their shoes for a second. What do they enjoy most about humanities?
Well, I think the first thing that they enjoy most is coming in every day and not trying to remember where they're supposed to sit. They get to choose who they sit with. So we allow them to come in. They get to pick their seats. We give them a lot of choice. We have some choice projects. We give them a topic and some suggestions on what they can do. They choose their topic. They get to work with partners. They get to work in small groups. So they're all sharing ideas. They get to create. We're going to do next after our Martin Luther King I Have a Dream rewrite. We're going to do a STEM project. We're going to build the Roman aqueducts.
Wow.
So they get to work with partners, so they get to build, to create, work with their friends in a different capacity. Like I said, humanities, we try to make it a little more lighthearted, not as structured, a little bit more fun than your typical ELA social studies classes. So I think they enjoy that.
Terrific. We should mention, by the way, we are live on location as we film this. We are in Mrs. Hink's classroom. So we've got a guest behind us there. I keep seeing a shadow of Caesar back there, and hopefully he stays
Beware
back there.
the Ides of March.
Yes, beware is right.
He does tend to gravitate around the room.
Yeah, he would have liked a 2-hour delay today, I'm sure, too. So, all right, so either one of you, a parent asks, what makes humanities different from regular old English and social studies class? How do you explain that to them? Mr. Shuck, what do you think?
Well, I think we're, like Mrs. Hink said, we're much more project-based and project-oriented for this class. Even the I don't want to say lack of structure, but the relaxed structure. It's a little bit more of a relaxed environment for the kids. We try not to put that pressure on them, with due dates and things like that. We're very flexible.
That and letting them have discussions with each other. Working in partners, working in groups, they're having conversations with themselves, with each other, they're having conversations with us, and then, presenting to share their thoughts with everybody else as well.
Outstanding. All right, let's move to this side of the stable, if you will, here. We've got a great discussion over here on humanities. Let's talk about STEM. What does STEM mean? What does it stand for? And then let's talk about what it looks like in 7th grade. So, Mr. Pearson, first of all, what does STEM stand for? And ultimately, what's it look like in 7th grade?
So at a real basic level, STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. So for anybody that has an idea of like the old idea of education where it's kind of come in, sit down at a desk, open up a book, and you just do that for an entire class. The whole idea of STEM is to kind of flip that on its head. That is the last thing that we want to have happen in that class. Mm-hmm. So what we try to do is get kids up, get kids moving, and kind of have hands-on kind of uses of technology, of engineering, of math skills, and we've done that a lot this year. We've used some of the 3D printers that we have in my room. We've applied math concepts with that. We've had kids have an invention project with that. Right now, we have kids working on making a ping pong ball catapult. So it's just hands-on kind of uses of some of those different skills.
Good. Now I'm going to come back to you for more on that, a more specific example in a second. Mr. Petrovich, how do you get these students excited about applying math and science together?
Well, math and science, one, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
You use it every day, and we continually tell the kids that. And like Mr. Pearson said with building catapults, they're using math and science in measuring, using the distance, seeing how far the catapult launches. So each and every day we try and have them learn where they apply math and hopefully like math a little more, and I guess science a little more too.
Yeah, now we talked a little before, and this is where I want you to be specific because I think this is a fun project, but I love some of the ingredients, if you will, used in it. But give me a specific hands-on project that you think really clicked with the students.
So one of the ones that kids really enjoy is when we have our Marshmallow Tower project. Yeah. That's one of the ones that the kids really enjoy, where they're going to construct a tower out of marshmallows and then uncooked pieces of spaghetti.
Yep.
Because one of the things that involves then a budget, because we set certain values for how much marshmallows cost, how much their uncooked pieces of spaghetti cost, and rather than just have them go and then construct a tower out of that, we also put a time constraint on this. So just like the real world, how everybody has certain things that need to get done in certain amounts of time, we say, hey, kids, you've got 30 minutes to go and build the tallest tower you can, and that's when we see how good are these kids with their time constraints. Some of them really excel at it, where they realize, hey, we've got to get going here. And then other kids we see, okay, they're still kind of lackadaisical, and they think, okay, we can just kind of putz around until at the end they realize, like, oh, we've only got 5 minutes, let's go. It's really just kind of neat to see how they work.
Yeah, I think too, when a project is being built outside of school in the corporate world, every day, every week, every month that you're late completing that project, there's a cost to that.
Absolutely.
And outstanding example. I'll stick with you on this one because 7th grade's that last stop before high school. How do you get your students academically, socially, and emotionally ready for this transition?
Probably two of our biggest goals, I think everybody here is on the same boat with this, is accountability and responsibility. If we can send these 7th graders off to the high school and have them be a little bit more responsible for themselves, to the point where they're able to step up to the plate a little bit more and be responsible for their grades. Yep. Where we don't kind of have to be, hey, here's the work that you missed when you were out. Where they're able to come to us a little bit more. Where they're able to take a little bit more accountability. Where they're able to say, hey, what did I miss when I was out? Or I have this missing assignment. Am I able to make this up? Where they're able to kind of be like the young adults that we're kind of treating them like.
Yeah. I put on your mama bear pause for a second here, and you're looking at a 7th grader that has evolved from this point in the year to the end of the school year. What do you look for? What do you say? I knew it. I knew it could happen. It did happen, and this is how I knew it happened. What do you see in a 7th grader as they change and grow throughout the course of a year?
Well, not just the course of the year. Being at the top of the 5th grade stairs right outside my classroom, I see a lot of them at the top of the stairs when they run through their classes and they run and slam right into that door and they're making noises and they're yelling. And my 7th graders, because we're on 3 different schedules, we're still here trying to learn, and they're looking at me and they're like rolling their eyes and they're like, oh, 5th graders. Yeah. And it makes me chuckle all the time because I'm like, you guys were there once too. But to see them change, 7th grade is a work in progress. They come into us in 7th grade kind of struggling with, next year going up to the high school, there's a lot of unknowns. So they come in, like Mr. Pearson said, we try to teach them responsibility. We try to teach them time management skills, accountability. And throughout the year, we see kids grow, change, and mature in a way that hopefully when they go into 8th grade, 8th grade's a lot easier.
Yeah. Yeah, we want to make it as seamless as possible when they transition. Mr. Shuck, back to you. Obviously, middle school's challenging. There's a lot of research. There's no point in a human being's life where more things are happening in their bodies and their minds and the development of the human body than this time, than middle school age. So that being said, challenging is an understatement at times. What strategies do you use to build those relationships and keep these kids engaged?
That's a good question. Yeah, it is a challenging time for the kids. I think one of the biggest things is building relationships with your students. And I think we do that. I do that by showing the kids that we're human. And we have to show them that we're people too. And I make connections to my personal life. I talk about sports a lot. I talk about my lovely wife, Mrs. Shuck, who's our gifted coordinator.
Yes.
I talk about my son, Murphy, who's a first grader in the district all the time. But I think we need to show them that, like, you know, we're people too.
Yep.
And we're just like you are. We make mistakes.
Yep.
We need to show them that it's okay to kind of be a little bit dorky sometimes too. I tell them, first day of school, I tell my kids, you know, I'm going to make some jokes this year. Some you're going to laugh at. Some you're going to look at me and shake your head and say, that guy's a dork. And I'm okay with that because everybody's kind of dorky in their own way. So I think really building relationships by showing them that we are human as well is really an important part of it.
Yeah, thank you for your work, too, outside of the classroom. It's fair to say you do some other work for us outside the classroom as a coach.
Yes.
And you've got is that a big week coming up next week?
Yeah, October 20th and 21st, we've got Alan Evans. He is our AA District 11 champion, and he is heading to State College for the PIAA State Championships. So.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
I might have to make my way up.
It's going to be a good time.
You don't want me to coach him, though. I'm a really bad golfer. So, but I want to commend you because I do appreciate and I know that we have so many of our staff members that go above and beyond to help kids, and we're going to celebrate them we're going to have a big tailgate party for those folks coming up. Actually, it's tonight as we're filming this. But just know how much that means, and I've seen the work that you've done with those kids. And I think didn't we win another division title? And
since Coach Andrew Scavage and I took over 4 years ago, this is our third division title. And the fourth year in a row now that we're sending someone up to State College for the state championship.
Outstanding. Good job. Keep it up. All right, good. Mr. Petrovich, let me come back to you on this one. How do you give students a voice in their own learning at this stage? Because let's be honest, seventh graders, they want to have a say in what's happening here. What's going on in seventh grade that gives them a voice and a choice?
Well, something that does start next week are clubs are back in the middle school. So seventh graders got a choice. First choice being the oldest in the building, they get to choose what club that they wanted to be in. It didn't list any of the teachers' names, so strictly on hobbies, strictly on what their interests are in.
And we're not going to give any of it up, right?
So they can't pick their favorite teachers. Nope. By the way, I am the strategy club. So none of the seventh graders picked the strategy club.
Imagine that.
So a lot of strategy went into that one.
That was very strategic of you.
Yes.
Well done. All right. Mrs. Hink, how about you on this one? Give me a specific time or a whatever, a place even, where a student surprised you with their creativity, their insight, or some growth, whatever it was.
We said that seventh grade is a wild ride. We never know what we're going to get. And building rapport with our students is super important. So I have a lot of world guessers that we like to play ninth period. And then sometimes when they're done their work, they like to showcase their other talents and hobbies with their teachers. And specifically in my room, I have a shout out to Ryder Zimmerman. He is my residential caricaturist.
I see that.
Who his drawings of our seventh grade core team is featured behind us. So thankfully, we all now have different color hair. That's a little more appealing, and my face is more visually appealing in my than what it was originally. So
Mr. Petrovich's scruff is represented well there.
And he did wear his plaid jacket today.
Yes.
For our seventh graders. 7th grade's a wild, crazy time, and we're here for it.
Yeah, I am so happy to have all 4 of you here for it because you're outstanding. Great job today. Anything you want to add? It's been a wild start to the school year. We're having fun already. I love what I'm seeing when I walk by your classrooms. But anything that we missed today you want to add to the podcast?
I just want to say shout out to 7th grade, the 7th graders for being the teachers in Newcomb. We're coming for you during basketball, so get ready. And yeah.
It's going to be a great year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going to have some fun. Thank you all. Folks, these are the outstanding folks that work with our kids each and every day here at Schuylkill Haven Area Middle School. 7th grade's an awesome year, a fun year. So get the word out. Share this episode. Remember, we've got a YouTube channel. You want to subscribe to that so you don't miss a single episode. We're going to do our best to get an episode on the air every single week and showcase students, staff members, athletes, musicians, anyone that we can get to come on this crazy show. And you never know what the set will look like. This is the first time in set history that we're sitting at student desks with Julius Caesar directly behind us. You just never know. So check us out on Spotify as well. We're at Deep Dive with Dr. Fitch. Like and share this episode. And remember, make those positives so loud that the negatives are impossible to hear.